Hey, yo, what's going on? Right now, you're watching Casino is the Name. So, it's been a minute since we talked about trucking. Many of you may know I used to have my own trucking authority. I was really heavy into the trucking industry. I really, really liked that industry. The only reason I even really left the trucking industry was because during the time that I got involved in it, it was during the government shutdown. So I was a federal employee at the time, and we had undergone a shutdown, like, you know, the budget or whatever. So I was doing YouTube, just messing around. I had a few, maybe 100 subscribers, maybe a couple thousand subscribers at the time, but I got into trucking as kind of like an offset. It was like one of those things where I could see money in it, I understood it, and so I got into trucking. Got really heavy into the space. YouTube was taking off at the same time, and I basically got called back to work. We all got called back, and it was kind of a decision. Now, I was never planning on giving up my career as a government employee, but I wasn't really thinking that I was going to have to decide between trucking and any other and my job. It was actually a decision that I had to make about trucking and YouTube. So I actually gave up trucking to focus on YouTube because I couldn't do all three. I could do maybe two, but I couldn't do all three. And my true passion was YouTube. I was just into trucking because it made sense. It made money. Now, trucking made me way more money than YouTube ever made me, but this passion that I have, I had to just make a decision between this and trucking. But I always spoke highly of trucking. Trucking has been through a lot of different ups and downs, as you can say, industry-wise. But through it all, I definitely believe in the trucking industry, to say the least. So it brought me to just, thinking like, you know what, I got to go back. I got to do some videos because people have been asking me about government contracting videos. And I also am heavy in that space as well. I'm an accountant, and so I do videos about accounting, government contracts, pretty much anything when it comes to forward motion. And trucking was a big part of this channel. So I was like, you know what? I got to go back. I got to start doing some more trucking videos for the guys. And why is that? Of course, trucking is a huge part of this channel, like the channel history. But beyond that, it's really that I believe in trucking. Like I understand it. I believe in it. I know it. I know it's money in it. And different times, different industries have ups and downs. I mean, think about the government shutdown. Imagine if your whole plan was to be a government employee, and then there's a government shutdown, and there's a hiring freeze and things like that, and you've placed all your eggs in that basket, and it's a job. It's a job. And they told us, we're not sure if we're going to be paying you guys, so just go home. Right now, we have no budget for you, so we can't afford to pay you. So just go home, and we'll let you know when we're going to call you back. Now, they did back pay us, but during that time frame, there was no money coming in, like if you were waiting on a check, which is crazy because you're a federal employee, you have a job, you have a career, and there was no money coming. But I fortunately had trucking, so I had trucking and YouTube at the same time. And so with trucking being something that I still believe in, I was like, it's only right that I come back on here and we start looking back into some of these things. And one of the first things that I was thinking about when it came to this, this video was really just going to be me talking about where my family is from down south. Trucking is like truck drivers are, for men, truck drivers, so down there, the nurses are like, they're the ones, the most money in bulk of people. Like I'm saying, I'm not saying that nurses make the most money out of the people back where I'm from, but for the most of, for the profession that has the highest amount of earning people, it would be nursing. And so truck driving is kind of the same thing, where it's the instant glow up. Like when somebody becomes a nurse, there's an instant glow up. As soon as they get their registered nursing license, there's an instant glow up. She just went from sleeping on somebody's couch to new car, new apartment, taking trips, getting her hair did, getting her nails did, it's an instant glow up. Truck driving is kind of the same thing. When guys down on their luck, they still sleeping at their grandma's house, trucking, when they get that CDL, because they watch their whole circle get their CDL, and they're like, yo, bro, you need to get your CDL, man. You need to go to truck driving school. And they almost dream about the opportunity of going to truck driving school. And so when they finally get a chance to go, there's like an instant glow up. They hit the road and they gone for a little while, but then they hit that glow up. And then they start, they come back, they got some money in their pocket, they can pay the people back who they might have owed because they've been borrowing money and things like that. And over time, they start out company drivers. Maybe they buy a truck. Maybe they just stay company driver, but they stand papered up. Now their bread in their pocket growing because they ain't really maybe able to spend the money because they're on the road or whatever. A lot of them may not even have a crib of their own when they left. And instead of getting a house or apartment or whatever, they just stay in that truck. They just live in that truck, man, and post up at somebody's house when they home or whatever. But a lot of them just live in that truck, man, and just ride it 30 days, 60 days, they out there, they just running it up. And so, of course, when they come home after all of that driving and all of that running it up, they're papered up. So there's two areas where I see an instant glow up, and that's nursing and truck driving. So when I see those people do that, I see the instant glow up. I don't see that. I'm an accountant. I don't see that from really any other industry in that area. I'm not saying it's like that in every area. I live in Atlanta now. I'm not saying it's like that here, but definitely if you're talking like South Georgia, that kind of area, man, it's an instant glow up, man. You see those girls go get their RN, get their associate's degree in nursing, bachelor's degree in nursing. As soon as they finish, they go from ashy to classy. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with the truck driving. These guys is just now first time ever seeing some kind of money. They just run it up. And next thing you know, shoot, they got their own shit. They got their own cars. They got their own cribs. They got their own trucks maybe. Maybe they want to be an owner operator, whatever it is. They want to lease on, whatever, but they start building. And next thing you know, they straight. Kids good. Girls is all on them. You know what I'm saying? Because they got some bread now. And those two areas, I know there's money there. I know there's money. I've seen it too many times. Even if it ain't like maybe the kind of money that you may be used to seeing, there's some money there to help change people's lives. So, and then of course with a CDL, you don't need a degree. This is something that high school dropouts can get. You can be a truck driver and make a decent living. So that's when I start saying, okay, well, if I know I've seen it, right? And I hear people talk and complain about, trucking industry going up and down, poor rates, this and that, low rates or whatever. I see all of those things. So I said, you know what? Let me look and see where the money is. Is there any current money in trucking? And by the way, if you could smash the like button for me, it'll help the YouTube algorithm. Do that for me real quick. But I was like, you know what? Let me take a look and see what the trucking job market looks like. Maybe there's not a lot of jobs in trucking right now. I don't know. You hear all of this stuff about AI taking over and stuff like that. It hasn't taken over yet, for sure. So I was like, you know what? Let me just see what opportunities there are out there. So I got in Google, and you can do the same thing. I don't know. Wherever you are. I live in Georgia. I live in Atlanta, so I live in Georgia. So I said, truck driver jobs. This is in Google. Truck driver jobs, Georgia. That's what I searched. Truck driver jobs, Georgia. Let me see if I can close this over here. So, truck driver jobs, Georgia. And what I saw was, it says, the first was a sponsored job, right? So it's a sponsored job. It says, U.S. Express CDL Team Trucking, $200,000 split, split and $15,000 bonus. So I'm not sure if that's saying that you will have to split $15,000. Hold on, let me see something. By the way, if you guys can hear me, is my screen froze? Is my screen froze? I just need to know. Yep, I figured it was froze. Okay. All right. I'm going to have to end this because I ain't sure how this happened. All right, how we looking now? Is it still froze? Hey, y'all got a chance to look at the kitchen. Okay, I think we good. I think we back good. But I was looking at this job, and if you look on Google, it says $200,000. It says team truck driving, but $200,000 split, $15,000 bonus. So I'm not sure if that's trying to say $100,000 a piece, and then you still get a $15,000 bonus, but that's still a $100,000 job. Even if you split that in half, that's still a $100,000 job that you can get with just a CDL. Of course you got to do some driving, but that was the first job that popped up. Now, I don't know how true this is. Is it true that you can make $200,000 driving a truck with a team partner? Is that true? I want to know. I got to figure this out. I don't know. But imagine, cool. What's up, Sheena? I see you. Okay. And all things princess, what's good? Yeah. So if you can get on here and you can make $200,000 driving a semi truck with CDL, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's like no job. You can go from no job, you and your brother have no job, y'all can get in the truck and make $200,000. This is the perfect business. I ain't gonna say perfect business, but for a glow up, for instant money, it's hard to beat that. Nursing to me is the same thing. It's just, it requires, of course, more school. I guess you could do CNA, things like that. But to make this kind of money, to make $100,000 with an associate's degree in nursing, is perfect. But then for the guys where I'm from, the instant glow up, it's trucking. It's trucking. was trucking all day. Now I wanted to see if there was any other jobs. If there was any other jobs up to this one says up to $110,000 per year. This is with Transco Lines, up to $110,000 per year plus 110K plus per year per driver. So then they have sign-on bonuses. Like I'm trying to figure out, are these guys going pro or something? Because they getting sign-on bonuses, they getting all this stuff. I never got a sign-in bonus. And I do high level stuff, you know, I never got a signing bonus. These guys get signing bonuses. They may have a GED. They could have a bachelor's and a master's degree, but it's not necessary. You just need a driver license. Let's see what else. Now I want to see how many jobs are available because, you know, the threat to the career field is the AI. Everybody's concerned about AI, but I mean, let's see. I need to see how many jobs. Okay, so this one says, it says how much a truck driver makes in Georgia. This says 51,000 is the 25 percentile. Salaries below that are outliers, so it doesn't even make sense to discuss salaries below that because that's not normal. So 76,000 is the 75th percentile. So there you go. So I mean, it's a respectable amount of money, especially when you're coming from no skill, no formal education, none of that. You get your CDL, it's instant money. I actually plan on getting my boys their CDL when they turn 18, just to have it, just in case. It's like my friend of mine, every time he goes to jail, he comes home, he jumps right back in the truck. He might go to jail for all sorts of illegal activities, but he just jumped right back in the truck and he can run the money back up again because he has like a perfect driving record. And he said it's a license to print money, man. Like, and if your expenses are low, you got no student loans or something like that, hey, to me, instant glow up, you trying to find fast money, this is the way. I mean, if you can tolerate driving, you still have to be willing to drive. But I mean, if you a hustler like me, you'll do whatever you got to do. And then I know people who dream of becoming a truck driver, and like once they do it, they love it. It's a guy I know. He's a little delayed, I guess you could say. Not the brightest, but he drives trucks, loves his life, enjoys the road, takes care of his responsibilities. I'm very happy for him. Like I recently reconnected with him online on Facebook, and you know, I had no idea he wanted to be a truck driver all his life, and he got a DUI. He wasn't able to become one for a couple years, and he's finally able to be in the truck. And so he was always kind of like a loner. And so now he's able to drive, and he be all up in the mountains and, you know, around the snow and, you know, jumping out the truck, taking pictures. Like he's loving what he does. And I think he got like employee of the month at whatever company he's at for truck driving, but he just loves being a truck driver. But even if you don't just love being a truck driver and you're like, look, man, I'm down on my luck, I got to get some money, go get your CDL, go get your Class A and get to going. You know what I'm saying? So, let's see. Okay, Sheena says, and driving for transit, you don't have to drive trucks. Oh, that's true. Okay, right. So you don't have to drive trucks. You can drive, let's say driving for transit is like driving a city bus or driving a school bus or something like that. So you can drive. You get a Class A CDL, or you don't really need a Class A to drive buses. You can get a Class B CDL, which is also what's mainly, you know, required to drive dump trucks. So even though you may get a Class A CDL, which I would just say, tell people get your Class A, because you can drive everything with a Class A. But if you don't want to drive semi trucks, you can get a Class B, drive dump trucks. And I know dump trucks that are making, God, how much are they? I forgot. Hold on, I'm trying to remember. I think last I had checked, they were making like $80 to $110 per hour. So $80 to $110 per hour. The driver was typically getting 25% of that, which would be $25 an hour, or 20 to $25 an hour. If it's $80 an hour, they'll get $20. If it's $100 an hour, then they're getting $25. So I was seeing that a lot. They were home every night. They didn't have to go over the road. They be super clean. The guys that I know, they be wearing all white, driving a dump truck. They got white forces on, white shirt, white pants. They chilling, they on the phone, like on their earpiece, out pumping gas at the station. So of course I gotta ask, how are you on a dump truck and you're this clean? And they're like, oh, well, the truck get dirty. I don't, it's automatic transmission. They not shifting gears and they're nothing. And they're like, yo, we don't go far. We go back and forth between this, like maybe 10-mile radius, 25-mile radius. We ain't going far. So we just do that back and forth and we clock out. It's smooth. So I was like, man, that's crazy. So, but if you're the truck owner and you decide you want to drive, you make $80 an hour. I mean, that's crazy work. That's crazy work. Like in a 8-hour day, the truck is making $640 in an 8-hour day, right? 80 times 8 hours, right? Now, if you're making $100 an hour, then you're making $800 in a day, in an 8-hour time frame. But then they also run at night. So they'll run the same truck day and night. So, that truck could potentially make $1,600 in a day if you run 8 hours in a day, 8 hours at night. That's, if you got maybe 2 drivers, or if you decide you want to drive, I think you can drive up to maybe like 12 hours a day or something. But, if you switch them out, you can keep running that truck. That truck can make you $1,600 a day. Easy work. But yeah, there's definitely some money in it. Let me see. Jabron says, good evening. What's popping, brother? Yes, sir. So is it true that you can make $200,000 on a team as a team driver? Because it says split, so I don't know if that means that the team makes $200,000. So that's why I'm saying, even if it's $100,000, well, $100,000+, because they give you a $15,000 bonus, plus they giving you the $100,000 or the $200,000 split. If you and your partner who broke right now is together and y'all hanging, and you like, listen, man, we need to go get some money. We need to go make $200,000 this year. You can go do it. They got the jobs listed. I mean, you can look this up. Maybe this is my phone just showing it to me. So you can look this up. Let me tell you the name of the company that's advertising it. Name of the company is US Express, like XPRESS. Says CDL team driver. I'm clicking on the job right now for to see what it's saying. Okay, the more miles you run, the more money you make. The higher starting CPM. What's it? Higher starting CPM, high mileage incentive pay. Okay, it says, I don't really know what all of this stuff means. I mean, I guess it's cost per mile, which is, if this is cost per mile, this is way different from when I was having my own authority, So, because I see 80 CPM, I'm not sure how they use this CPM thing. But let's see what it says. It says solo drivers, 2,220 miles per week on average is 45 to 60 CPM based on location and experience. I'm not really sure what that means. I'm gonna need an experienced trucker to tell me what all this means. I was never a driver, just owned a company, and because I have my own company, if they're talking cost per mile, I don't know if that's what that is, because if it's cost per mile, I was getting $2 and $3 per mile, so I don't know what this is. I don't know if this would be cent, like 60 cent, 80 cent per mile. I don't really know. So let's see. Okay, team drivers up to 15,000 sign-on bonus. So okay, if you and your brother is struggling right now, if you and your cousin is struggling right now, y'all can just go get your CDL and go sign up together. They're gonna give y'all a $15,000 sign-on bonus. If you're a team driver, they're gonna give you a $15,000 sign-on bonus, which you have to split. So y'all will get $7,500 a piece. It says with an average of 5,500 miles per week, interested in 30 days out / 28 days at home schedule. Ask about our flex fleet offering. So you're gonna basically be out 30 days and you can be home 28 days. I don't know why anybody would want to do that, because the people who I know who hungry and they ready to get this money, they ready to just be gone and earning money, because you ain't making no money at home. You only making money when you slide. So, okay. What else? All right. Is that all it really says? Okay. New equipment, so they're going to keep you in new trucks and stuff. They got 401k match. That's always a good thing. Tuition reimbursement. I don't know when you're going to have time to go to school. I guess you can go to school while you're on the truck. Or if you want to transition out, I guess that makes sense. But yeah, I think this is the for men, this is the instant glow up right here. I think that's the instant glow up when we talking about access to getting in and getting started and going and making money that can be life changing. This is the instant glow up. And I think nursing for women is, well, I say for women, but of course men and women can be truck drivers and nurses. I'm just saying what I see the most of. I see mainly women in nursing glow up, and I see mainly guys in trucking glow up, like, you know, from where my folks is from. So, yeah. What y'all think? Do you have to pay for your own gas? Well, that's going to be, if you're a company driver, that's going to be included in the company. If you're an owner operator, then you will have to pay for your own gas. I mean, it might be reimbursed. See, I had my own trucking authority, so of course I'm paying for my own gas. Like I'm my own individual business. I'm the equivalent of rider in that situation. But if you're an owner operator and you're driving for rider, then I don't know if they give you like a reimbursement for your gas if you turn in your receipt, or if they just give you a certain amount and then they say, we're going to, you got to pay for your own gas. I don't know how they do that. But yeah, a lot of places have gas cards and stuff like that. Let me see. Are these jobs with a union? I don't know. That's an interesting question. I think it's going to depend on where. But let's see. Trucking jobs with let's look that up, with union. Let's see. This says union truck drivers. Union truck driver jobs. This says union CDL driver, but that might mean you work for a union instead of, are you covered under a union? Are there unions for truck drivers? That's what I'm looking for. The Teamsters are known as the champion of freight drivers. So yes, the Teamsters. This is what they do. So freight drivers, trucking, it ain't gonna move if the Teamsters stop it. So, yeah. But definitely trucking is absolutely a way to make some instant money, some life-changing money depending on your lifestyle or if you ain't got no money, you can get straight with that. By the way, could y'all let me know how the mic sounds? I don't even really know if this is good. Is it maybe too muffled? Is it clean? Is it, how does it sound? Let me know. Yeah, so I do want to get a bus driver on here and then another truck driver on here so we can maybe discuss some of these questions as far as how does the CPM actually work? Because I'm not entirely sure. See, when I get a job, it'll be like a car that needs to go from Atlanta to Miami. And in Miami, let's say it might be 2 cars that need to go to Miami. So we'll pick up the 2 cars up here, and matter of fact, I probably wouldn't take a car to Miami. I'll probably take a car to Jacksonville from Atlanta, drop it off in Jacksonville, pick up another car in Jacksonville, and then, just keep doing that. But it might be like $250 for a car to go from Atlanta to Jacksonville, and we'll grab 2 that's going that way, because for us that's more so gas money. We don't even use that as that's income. So we take the car down there for $500 gas. I'm not sure exactly what gas will be, but let's say gas is a third of that or 50% of that. So let's say gas is $250. So even if we made $250, it's not we only really using that just to get to Jacksonville. Once we get to Jacksonville, we're gonna pick up 2 more cars that are going to maybe Tampa or something, or not Tampa. Let's say Orlando. Drop them off in Orlando. Same thing, another $500 to get there, and then drop those off. Then we head to Miami, right? And once we get to Miami, we'll pick up 2 cars maybe in Orlando, drop them off in Miami. So that's just really still for us, just gas money. So get to Miami, and then we may be picking up actual freight. We may be actually picking up machines that need to go to Maryland or something like that. And they're paying, a decent amount of money to get from Miami to Maryland. Things that are just odd to ship, or they just need to get there in a certain time frame. But we'll make that trip, drop those cars off in a day or 2. It'll take a day or 2 to drop all that stuff off, and then pick up the real freight and drive that up. And so I'm only saying 2 cars because, we were running a hot shot. We weren't running a semi truck, So if we had a semi truck, then you're probably picking up 8 cars or something like that at a time. That's a very different thing. But yeah, so we would actually pick up the real freight where we're going to be running it up to Maryland. Now, let's say, I don't know how far Miami and Maryland is, but let's say we had to drive 800 miles, right? So we got to drive 800 miles, and we might be getting $3 per mile. So it's $2,400 to make that trip. And so that trip may take a day, maybe a day and a half, because you got to unload. Maybe by the time the driver gets up there, it's either nighttime or they're closed or whatever. And so we got to wait till the morning to unload it, go get something else. But you could probably make that trip, or a trip like that. Something like that. You could probably do something like that in a day and a half, something like that. So, but yeah, so that's kind of how this all goes, It can be decent. It can definitely be decent. But then there's also the waiting time, right? So it might take 2 days, a full 2 days to do all of that. So but that's how it works. So you get paid more money by taking real freight versus taking cars. But if you can take a lot of cars are easy to get because there's an unlimited supply of cars moving. So that's why it's when we get down to Jacksonville or wherever, we're just going to grab some more cars. Or we get to Miami and we need it, because maybe that 800 miles take you to some other part of Florida. I don't really know. I'm just throwing something out there. But let's say you go from Miami to Tallahassee, and you can drop those cars off in Tallahassee or drop whatever freight is that you were dropping off in Tallahassee, and in Tallahassee pick up some more cars to be your gas money back to Atlanta and do the whole thing all over again. And you can go as far as you want. California, which I would suggest not doing. They have a lot of different rules out that way, but trucking itself is absolutely a way where you can glow up. You can glow up fast, especially as a driver. Now, owning a trucking business, trying to be your own trucking authority, dealing with drug consortiums and FMCSA and insurance. Insurance can be $20,000, and you got to put a certain percent down. You may have to put 20, 30% down. Say you got to put 20% down on insurance. That's $20,000. So you got to put $4,000 out of pocket, maybe, and it could be higher, it could be lower, or whatever. But you may have to put $4,000 to $5,000 out of your pocket down before you can even go pick up anything. So it's a cost to it. Versus if you just get a CDL and you just start driving, Okay, so Gideon says it's clean. Appreciate it. Sheena says, Mike is great. Appreciate it. Thank you. Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad the mic works. I'm just talking and I ain't even looked to see. Yeah. So, and then, of course, you can get in some government contracts for trucking, Anyway, I was just popping on here real quick. I ain't really want nothing. I just really looking at this and I'm thinking to myself, I gotta get some truck drivers, some people with some CDLs who can talk about the process and what they went through getting their CDL, how important your driving record is. I really know a lot of this stuff already, of course, but it'd just be good to hear somebody, because I've been out the game for a minute, You ever feel like, man, I've been out the game for a minute? That's how I feel. When I see these truck drivers in teams who can be sleeping on their grandmama floor right now, and then they all of a sudden they about to make $200,000 this year together. That's crazy. If especially if this is your dog, you don't know what it's like when you and your dog get money. Y'all get money together, man. That's a different feeling from you having money. Me getting 100,000, even me getting 150,000, and my dog ain't got no money. That ain't the same as I got 100,000 and he got 100,000. That's just not the same. It's not the same. It's just not. Let's see. Greater Cleaner says, salute, King. Always motivating others. Listen, bro, that's why I started at. You feel me? That's why I started at. Came from the bottom. So definitely. If you know anybody who looking for a job, trying to figure out how they're going to get some money up, I want to tell them, hey, worst case scenario, well, two scenarios, go be a nurse or go and get your CDL, shout and quit playing with these folks. Of course, there's always the military route. The military wasn't a fast route for me. It took me several months to get brought on and stuff. I did all my stuff fast. I did my stuff way faster than most people. I was in the Air Force. I did my stuff way faster than most people because my grandfather passed and my mama lost her job in the same week. So we were burying my grandfather on my mom's last check. So I had to, while at the funeral, with the family and everything, my uncle was in the Navy and my sister was in the Army, and my sister couldn't make it, but she was, financing us being able to go, the rental car, giving money to the family to get food and stuff like that. And my uncle, he was in the Navy. His kids was all nice and healthy and, and all of that, and they had money too. And so he was contributing to all of that too. So that was how I figured out I needed to go into the military, because I was in the streets at the time, and I was looking at the contrast between the two side, like the family that was like the rest of the family was, trying to get it in, hustling or struggling or whatever. But then this side was military. So it was like, well, there's only two people who was military, but I was like, yo, they extra straight. I need to go do that. So I talked to my uncle the whole time that I was down there, and I was like, you know what? I'm going into the military, And so that's how I ended up going. But I never thought about going into the military until that moment. And as soon as I got back, I did all of my stuff in a week. Like all the paperwork, I sat there for hours. I'm not leaving until I get all this stuff filled out. I'm gonna be here all day. I went straight to the mall, to the recruiter station, filled out all the paperwork, and they said it still was gonna take me 4 months. And also, I was gifted. I was a gifted student. So college just wasn't at the time I thought was for me. I didn't think college was for me, which don't make any sense because college is for whoever is trying to get a degree. But yeah, at the time I didn't think college was for me. I was still in the streets heavy. And so I was able to take the ASVAB at MEPS. Like they gave me like a practice test and I scored so high on it. They would say, we just gonna, whenever you get to MEPS, you're just gonna take the ASVAB there instead of, for other people, we have them take a test. They take the ASVAB in a, like proctored or whatever, or at a location, and then go to MEPS. But you're gonna pass it. We know you're gonna pass it when you get down there. So we just gonna send you straight to MEPS. So I did all of that stuff, and they still said it was gonna be 4 months before I left. And I'm like, this is crazy. So I'm at the recruiter station every day for 4 months because I was in the streets, so I had stuff going on, and I was trying to stay out of trouble, But yeah, so like, for me, the military process wasn't fast, but I assume for other people it might have been fast. I don't know. I also had to come in under a waiver due to my youth activities. So, yeah. So, okay. Veterans get CDL license for free, by the way. What? I ain't never heard that before. So I was actually going to get my CDL because I never planned on driving trucks for real. I thought about I might drive trucks while I was still in school for my accounting stuff because it was just faster. But I was planning on buying a truck and then having somebody drive the truck. So I was gonna get my CDL, and in between time, if I had an issue with a driver, then I might drive the truck myself or whatever. But I was only wanting to get my CDL so I could get a truck. But I always wanted to have like a trucking business, which is, I ain't gonna say always, but I got to a point where I wanted to have a trucking business. And I was using my GI Bill to pay for my CDL school, because you had to go to CDL school. Well, you had to learn how to drive the truck. And so I was doing that, but I didn't know, I didn't know that they did that. So cool. Yeah, I got to look into that because I might still get it. I might still get it. Okay, veterans get your. Matter of fact, that's a whole new video for me. I'm gonna do a video on that as soon as I learn about it. As soon as I learn about it. All right, hold on. Let me make sure everybody can smash the like button. And real estate license. No, I ain't know that either. You must still have to pay for the school. You must still have to pay for the school or something. I don't understand. They giving the real estate license away to veterans and they giving the CDL to veterans. You must just got to pay for the school. They must not be paying for the school. They must just be giving you the driver. They didn't give me my regular driver license for free. How they give them? All right, I gotta change some things up because I got to figure out what veteran. Maybe that's for 100% veterans or something. I don't know, because I'm not that yet. Working on it. All right. So okay. So make sure everybody has smashed the like button. Make sure everybody has smashed the like button. By the way, if you don't have one of these, this thing is great. It's a magnet. Don't worry about the tape. I put the tape on there because this other little piece came off, but you don't really need the tape. I just keep it on there anyway. But you plug it up in here and it charges your phone if your phone up to date now. Don't be trying to put one of them flip phones on here and think that it's going to stick and it ain't going to work. And another thing is, Did y'all know this? Hold on, let me show you something. Let me show y'all something. Let me show y'all something about this old iPhone of yours. So you know how you have the Apple logo right there in the middle of the phone? So that actually is I guess a piece of metal that's used to attach itself to these things. I had no idea. Of course, my Android don't have that, but these new cases have the magnet here. I'm over here looking like an infomercial. I'm not over here selling these. I'm just trying to let y'all, I'm putting y'all on game. And I get this from Five Below. It's like $10. It's dope. It's dope. So if you was FaceTime, you could be charging your phone at the same time. It's crazy. Anyway. All right, hold on. Your regular license is free. Don't need 100%. All right, I gotta learn my veteran benefits. I gotta learn my veteran benefits because I've been paying for everything. All right. Anyway, if y'all find any value in these videos, make sure y'all like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'm about to get up off of here. It's late.